Delta, United, American. Which one's a coronavirus? You might find out, and I don't know about that. With Jim Jefferies?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you might find out. It's the United coronavirus.
By the time this comes out.
Yeah, there'll be a new one.
Yeah. It could be an American. I think all of them are American. But.
Jack's not here because Jack had a friend who had the coronavirus, so he's isolating for a couple of days before he sees everybody. He's had a couple of clean tests. He looks good.
Hey, how's it going?
How you feeling? I want to plug.
Good.
I want to plug a few shows. I'm on tour, America. I'm on tour. This has come out before Vegas. It probably won't. Vegas was great.
No.
Come and see me. Come and see me. Hey, I'm in New York coming up at the beginning of August or the end of September. The end of September, I believe.
Yeah, end of September.
End of September.
24th.
I'm in Chicago as well. Anyway, I'm all over the country. There's extra shows added. There's an extra show added in New York. There's an extra show added in LA. The extra show added in Minneapolis, I believe. And then there's all these different. I'm going to Oklahoma. I'm going all over the country. Just go to JimJefferies.com and get your tickets. Some of the ticket shows are sold out. Some of them aren't. But you get your tickets while you can. And to all the people who already bought tickets, thank you. I'm looking forward to getting back on stage. I did some warm-up gigs recently, and I'm very happy with my set. I'm ready to go. I just did a warm-up gig where my opening acts were Howie Mandel and Jay Leno. So giving those two plucky upstarts a bit of a go.
Yep. You give them a lot of the exposure they need.
Yeah, letting them, I heard some of their stories like, how do you get up at this club? And I'm like, you'll get there.
Yeah. You crushed, though. This is going to be a great tour, so get tickets.
I've had a long time to work on it.
Yeah.
A long time. I've never had so long to. I've picked over these jokes for years now. I've been sitting there going, when I get a chance to tell this joke, why yada.
And I'm just on piggybacking on August 18th, I'll be at the American Comedy Club in San Diego. If you go to my Instagram, Forrest Shaw, the link is in my bio to tickets. $10. Bargain.
And on August 18th, I will most likely be dog sitting Forrest's dog.
Oh. No. I'm just going to drive down for the night.
All right, I'll be doing nothing on August 18th.
But Forrest, to be honest with you, Forrest, there'll be a lot of my shows. We've also got Justin Martindale, Amos Gill from
Lisa
Australia,
Curry.
Lisa Curry, and Jason John Whitehead. We got a great array of comics for you. I'm bringing a real good show to you. The Moist Tour.
Moist.
It's funny because I called it the Moist Tour, and then I found out that like some actor had a show called the Moist Tour. I was like, fuck, it's not the most original name. I just Googled what the fucking most offensive word in the English language is, and I went with it. I wanted to call the show Son of a Carpenter. We've been over this.
Yes.
How are you, Jack? How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, feeling healthy.
Look at your room. It looks fantastic. That's your new place you're staying in there. You got some Grateful Dead pictures. You got a couple of guitars in there.
Nice floor, like a wood floor.
And it looks like a big ass room. I've been watching all these shows. There's a show that you wanted me to watch. My wife watches that one about selling property in Sydney. Australia, why are the bedrooms so fucking small? Like America, they give you a big ass bedroom to live in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in Australia, they give you a big living room, small bedrooms because you're just going to sleep in there. But in houses that are worth like $40 million, they still have like, and here's the master bedroom. It's a fucking
Closet,
shoebox.
yeah.
I don't know why Australia has to give such small bedrooms. They have a walk-in wardrobe. It's literally the size of an American walk-in wardrobe. Sort it out, Australia. Anyway, Jack, what have you got for us this week?
I got life hackets.
I love life hackets. They're my favorite.
Now,
If you
I'm not able
want
to play a
if
song.
you want to get off work, say a friend of yours had COVID, and then you get to stay home for a while. Life hack it.
What are
and
life
miss out on
hackets?
Jay Leno and Howie Mandel.
Yeah, I think it was
I was giving Jack a spot as well. I said he could do 5 minutes at the show, and then he didn't get, you could have got. Well, look, Leno doesn't book the Tonight Show anymore, so you didn't miss out on that.
AGT. Could have been on
Australia's Got
AGT.
Talent. You could have been a contestant on America's Got Talent. You could definitely be on Australia's Got Talent.
Yeah. What are life hackets?
Life hackets are, life hacks, just easy ways to make your life easier. I use a bunch of life hacks in my everyday life, so I just want to share with the world.
Yeah, so
My hacks for life.
If you want your life to be as easy as Jack's, here's what you do.
Life hack.
Life hack.
I'm not able to play a theme song that one of the fans sent in, so I'm going to play one.
Wait, you're gonna? Oh, boy.
I'm gonna play one. Here we go.
Here we go.
Jack's got a
If you
guitar.
don't have a theme song,
Jack's
write
got a
your own.
guitar.
Exactly.
Bring your guitar to a party. Everybody loves it when you start playing.
They do. I get requests. Always Wonderwall.
Yeah,
outta
or you get
here.
requests. Can he stop?
When's he leaving?
Yeah. If that guy tries to kiss me, I'll vomit. That's not a request.
Yeah, either was mine, but it's statements. A lot of statements.
Oh, that was a good song. All right, what live
You
acts here?
got a problem in your life. There ain't no cure, only strife. So come along with me and get some hacks from me.
You're going good for
Life
the.
hack it.
What song is that? Wait, is that a song that I already know?
I think it was.
Yeah, I'm
Jeff
ripping off Amos Lee's Sweet Pea.
All right.
doesn't know Amos Lee.
Good song.
Yeah,
Did you rhyme me with me though?
yeah. Way to go there, Beastie Boys.
Yeah, I had the lyrics written out and I blanked because I got nervous.
You should just have a song that goes me.
Me.
Call it the Roadrunner
Hacks.
song, and it's all
Hacks.
fucking. It all rhymes.
Wasn't bad, Jack.
I thought
Good
it was
job.
pretty good. You played the
Yeah,
guitar lovely.
Yeah, you sang and played. It was good.
There will be some comments like, I didn't know he could sing. He's
I got-
hot now.
I got to tell you this.
Yeah, you might get laid.
You don't space your posters very well.
I only have well look
Why
here's
wouldn't
the
you
thing.
have them more
They don't-
centered in the wall?
They don't my housing managers don't let me put nails in the wall, so I had to use the Velcro, what are they called, the Scotch.
Right.
Yeah, but you
the
can still
hanging- whatever
you
they're
can still
called.
put that
So
where
I
you
don't
want.
no, I don't want them over my bed and an earthquake comes and I die.
And what if he's having super rough sex and the bed's banging against the wall?
Is that a single bed, Jack?
Oh, yeah, do you have a British flag?
No, it's a full. That's
it
a
just-
pillow from Jim's
it
office.
looked like it was single because you had a pillow in the middle. Okay, I see.
Oh, you've got your Clean Dick 99 pillow on
Clean
the
Dick
bed.
99
Shout
pillow.
out to Caroline.
Clean Dick 99.
Yeah.
I don't know who did it, but someone made me that Clean Dick 99 Tottenham jersey, and I was wearing it around town the other day and totally forgot it said Clean Dick 99.
But this is the thing. I'm thinking because Elton John's doing his final concert at Dodger Stadium, his last ever concert. And Jack Conway, I think we might get tickets. If I'm not gigging, I might try to go to that. And if we do, I will wear my sparkly Halloween outfit of the
Have
Elton
to.
John. I gotta do
I will
it.
do anything to come with you guys. to
And I'll
that
wear big
concert.
glasses and hats so people don't know it's me. But you'll get a lot of comments. You'll be like, "Thanks." That's what I'll say when they compliment me.
What do you got, Jack?
All right, first life hack. Hey, you're in a conversation with
God.
someone.
This is
like what he does in stand-up as well. He's like, don't change your voice. You have a lovely speaking voice.
Hey there, guys. Yeah.
Hey, what are you fellas up to? Are you shooting dice?
Fucking hey. Continue on, Jack.
I say you're in a conversation with someone you don't want to be in it anymore. Just say you have to
I'm
take
feeling
a
it.
shit and then you go to the bathroom and leave the convo and never return.
But never return?
Never return to the conversation. Go talk to someone else.
Why
Yeah,
wouldn't-
but your life hack is make an excuse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone's been in it.
But no one's going to question, oh, do you really have to take a shit? Now, you do have to go to the bathroom and pretend. But you get out of the conversation.
Just get a phone call that you have to
Yeah.
take. I gotta take
That's
this.
fake. Oh, real? Oh, how do you sell that? There's no ringer's not on. No one can prove you have.
No, you act
can't
like
take
you
it.
got to text. I got to call someone. Sorry,
I'm-
there's an important
yeah.
thing. There's a text. I got to.
I'm shocked that you didn't just say, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
That's your fucking line, man.
Have you
I just
ever
don't even
had?
wanna
Have
be
you ever
around
had that
anymore.
one? Like I've been on dates with girls where they've gotten a phone call from somebody, and women do this. It's a phone call that they say to their friends, like, "I'm going on this date. Ring me after 40 minutes, and so I can leave if it's not going well." And I had a girl. I was on the date with her. Her phone rang, and she went, "No, it's going great. Don't worry, it's all good." Right? And I go, "Oh, so what was that?" And she goes, "Oh, I have a friend that my excuse that I can leave, but
Yeah.
I'm enjoying myself." And I thought that was fucking solid of her, man. To fucking, I wasn't enjoying myself, so I got a phone call 5 minutes later and left. But anyway,
Jack, why does your character that you go into sound like you just had a stroke, by the way?
Stroke? Oh, I don't know.
Okay, keep going. We'll see.
Okay, next.
Stroke.
Yeah.
Avocados.
that should be. You should be on a poster as you come into California, just with that written with your arms up.
So we all like avocados. Jim, I know you're a big fan
I
of
love
avocados.
an avocado. I love an
So you
avocado.
know how you take an avocado and you cut it in half. You don't want the other half, so you just save it for later. But then it kind of turns brown. Well, you want that nice green. So if you put it in like a Tupperware full of water and you put the avocado face down, it stays green for like 4 extra days and stays fresh.
Oh, I have a plastic thing where you put it on top of it and the rock goes in the middle of it and it makes the avocado fresh. But your one is soaking it in water.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
We're not
makes it
all
moist.
rich, Jim.
Oh, yeah. I think it cost me $5. My wife bought it. I think my interior decorator may have put it in the house. But anyway, but yeah, I thought Jack was going to go, you have that half of avocado and you don't waste it? What I do is I eat the whole thing.
That is usually what I do.
You just can get the brown part off with a knife, too.
Yeah.
No, the water trick really works though.
Or get a girlfriend and give her half.
Yeah.
That's easier said than done. I wish I had a hack for that department.
After they hear this song.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. They'll be upset because I meant to rhyme me with free. Anyway, it's over.
Now when you say it,
I
yeah.
could give you the Elton John outfit to wear to the concert. You might get a few
Oh,
extra.
yeah, you get late on that.
You get a few extra things. Very hard to fuck in. It's a full jumpsuit.
Next, bee fact. Bumblebees.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised we didn't talk about this on our bee episode, but the way bees' eyes work is that they don't really sense movement too much. So if a bee's around, you don't want to get stung. Don't move, and they won't think you're a threat because you're not moving. They're like T-Rexes.
Yeah, the same works for T-Rexes.
Pretty much every animal.
Yeah. If you're near an animal, don't startle it. Life hack.
Except for
Life
bear.
hack.
Okay, any
I
more?
got bears, scared bears. Yeah, I got 2 more.
All right.
These are for the vinyl heads out there. Vinyl records, they're kind of up on the rise again.
For the last decade or so, yeah.
Yeah.
Last decade. But a quick check to see if you have an original pressing of a record. It usually works out every time. If you look on the spine or the disc, if the serial number is 4 letters - 4 numbers, it's probably an original pressing. That only works for like older records because modern records are categorized it really
That's
weird.
not a life
How does this
hack.
help your
That's
life?
a bit of
Well, it's quick.
That's
It's
a
a
bit of
quick-
information.
Yeah.
That like
I think it's nice.
that's a fun fact.
Yeah, but wait, how does this help your life?
Well, I didn't know it, and now I can just do a quick look at any of my records. I have a bunch of original pressings I had no idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good hack.
Again, but how does it help your life?
No, he knows he's
Because
got
now he's got original
pressings.
pressings.
Okay.
And
I
he
can brag about it.
He can put that on his Bumble.
Don't listen to him, Jack. You tell us
And
the
then
next one.
the other one
We'll edit that one
is-
out. Don't worry.
I actually saw this on CSI and I didn't think it was real, but I just looked it up and it is a real thing.
If
A
you
really
kill
good one-
someone, good way to dispose
tell
of the
anyone.
body is
Shave your whole body.
let pigs eat it.
A really good way to clean a record is to put wood glue on it, and you kind of turn the record on, and it spins, and you just spray it on, and then you smooth it out with some sort of like card or something, and then let it dry. And then when it dries, it's one solid piece of film, and you peel it off, and it takes up every single piece of dust that's in the groove.
And that looks difficult.
Wait, hold on a second. Why was that on CSI?
Because they found broken bits of it, and the CSIs put it back together, and they did some computer analysis and were like, whoa, this is this record. Oh.
Not all the crimes are big on CSI. Sometimes they have episodes, the case of the dusty record.
Or is
They
this
had
an
like
original
22
pressing?
seasons.
I feel like both the last 2 life hacks were about the same thing.
Yeah. I got another one. All right. You guys like records? Okay.
Yeah, if you have records, buy a record player. It makes the whole experience better.
Hey, do you guys know what headphones are out there? If you don't, you should get them. You could get 2 soup cans and a string and put it together. It works just as good.
Yeah.
right,
If you're
that's it.
deaf in one ear, just buy one ear pod and use that the whole time until that breaks, and then you have a spare ear pod.
Yeah, or you can put the ear pod and you stick it in an avocado. It still turn brown, but then it looks cool.
I reckon I can do a Jack Hackett.
Yeah,
All right.
life hack.
All right.
Life
Yeah,
hack.
good luck.
Give me a topic. Give me an item, a household item, or a food, or something like that.
Shoes.
I got one for you.
Fucking easy. Fucking easy. If you want your shoes to look nice and you don't want them to be dirty, don't walk in mud. Try to keep to hard. Try to
So
keep to
good.
hard surfaces all the time.
Hold on a
Here's
second.
another one. When you do your shoelaces up, you don't want those pesky shoelaces flipping and flopping around.
Right.
They're so unsightly. What you do is you get them together with one hand and shove them down the side of the shoe near your ankle.
Wow. Wow. All right, Jack, we don't need you anymore. Guess it was nice knowing you. So hopefully you don't get COVID. And
Yeah, same.
Oh wait, what about? I got another one for you. What about when you open a bottle of wine and you don't drink it all?
I'll tell you what to do with champagne.
Okay,
if you
yeah.
want to keep bubbles in it, you put a spoon in the top, a silver spoon in the top of your champagne. You don't know about this, Kelly. So you get
I don't really drink champagne.
You get a
that much.
champagne bottle, okay, and if you want bubbles to be there for a couple of days afterwards, you drink half the champagne. You get a teaspoon, you drop it in the end, so obviously the big end because you couldn't put it the other way. You drop it in. The metallicness of the spoon does something scientific and keeps the bubbles in the champagne. That's a real thing. There's a story about like Noel Gallagher and Liam Gallagher. So Noel Gallagher told Liam Gallagher about this. He goes, you put the spoon in the top of the champagne and it keeps it fresh, right? Then he goes back to visit Liam a week later and Liam has a spoon in the top of his milk.
Nice and carbonated.
He was like, just keep it fresh, man. You know, fucking fresh milk. All right, let's do this podcast.
No ads.
Let's read some ads.
Yeah.
Ads.
Podcast. Who's counting?
Hey, honey, what you up to, honey? Honey. Oh, wait a minute. Honey? Oh, you've spiked my interest.
We love honey here.
Honey, everyone shops online at some point. And did you know that you're often just leaving just money on the table? You're wasting your money. There's that promo box. You look at it, you go, I don't know, bloody promo. I can't be asked to find a code, right? Honey does it for you. Thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past. It's like dinosaurs now. Honey is the free browser extension that scores the internet for promo codes and scores works. And promo codes and applies the best one it finds for your cart. Honey supports over 30,000 stores online. Imagine you're shopping at one of your favorite sites, right? Forrest would be Wacky Hats.
No, this guy right here. I get dog food for him.
Do you?
Using Honey. Yeah.
And you use Honey.
Yep.
When you check out, the Honey button drops down. All you have to do is click apply coupons, wait a few seconds as Honey searches for coupons, and it can find for that site. If Honey finds a working coupon, the prices will just drop on the ground. Talk about how Honey has saved you money is what I would want to do, because Forrest saved it with dog food.
Yep.
He saved it with dog food. I bought some food from Goldbelly. That company that delivers the food.
Yeah.
I get the food delivered to me because I'm a pig of a human being.
Yeah.
And I go, Honey gave me a voucher on that.
People get food delivered that aren't
Yeah,
pigs.
I know, but it's like Postmates or something. I go, I want a sandwich from Philadelphia. It's like, what are you doing with your life, man?
Well, continue using Honey for
But
it.
I got the discount, so it made me feel good about it. My cholesterol's high. But I did. Goldbelly, I save money on that.
But Honey's found it's over 17 million members, over $2 billion in savings.
I saved $15 and it was like $75 worth of food. And I saved 15 bucks.
15, that's good.
15 bucks. They found 17 million members. There's 17 million members of Honey, and they've saved $2 billion. $2 billion. Think about that. That's a lot of money.
It's like as much as Jeff Bezos makes in a day.
Yeah, it'd be probably because he uses Honey. If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight out missing up on free savings. It's literally free to install in a few seconds, right? And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this podcast. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/IDK. Put IDK in there. Support the podcast, people. Support the podcast. That's joinhoney.com/IDK. Fellas that are in the mood, people don't just do it. Just do it. Buy cuts, there's nothing to it. Cuts, dun, 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 dun.
Is that in there?
Yeah, fellas, the sport of business means demanding excellence from your craft and wardrobe. Your fit needs to be versatile, blending timeless style and comfort so you look as good as you feel. For that, there's Cuts Clothing. Cuts shirts, polos, hoodies, and crew sweatshirts are made for the man who works hard, plays hard, and never settles for less. All in the sport of business. Built for performance in the boardroom, the bar, or the gym, Cuts Clothing keeps you sharp wherever the game takes you. GQ magazine, very popular magazine. They've never lied to me. They've never lied to me.
Once.
I've never read GQ and gone, that's a load of bullshit, right? GQ magazine calls Cuts the only shirt worth wearing. Look, you'll never need to take it off, and you certainly won't want to. It's not just a lifestyle. It's not just clothing. It's office leisure apparel for the sporter business. Get 15% off your first order by going to cutsclothing.com/IDK. That's our podcast, IDK. That's cutsclothing.com/IDK for 15% off, the only shirt worth wearing.
Please welcome to the show, Dr. Jacinta Delhaize.
Oh, well, this is going to make it easier.
How's it going to make it easier?
Are you a doctor?
Well, why don't we play the theme
Of
song?
sorts.
Let's play the thing that we do. Without Jack, I'm at a complete loss.
Judging a book by its cover.
Jack would have been all over that, Luis. That would have been fucking nailed. That would have been nailed down. He would have corrected me. He would have looked at me like, "Do the song."
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a Dr. Jacinta
Delhaize.
How do you say?
Well, her first name's Jacinta, and then Delhaize is her last name.
Delhaize. Okay,
I don't know how that's going to help you. But
well, no, I could find out maybe something. Okay, so I think you do a professional podcast because your microphone system is the best that we've ever had.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so you're a doctor. You're in South Africa, correct? You're in South Africa, and you're a doctor. I'm going to sound
she's
really
Australian.
I'm going to sound really bad here. Do you specialize in HIV?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm a doctor of sorts, but not of the medical profession.
Okay. Well, because there's a lot of HIV in Africa.
Yeah, could have been.
And I'm saying that
Could
might
have
be
been,
the reason she's out there.
That's a good guess.
I wasn't trying to sound salacious. I don't know if that's the right word for that.
No, yeah.
Okay, so you're not a medical doctor. Are you a doctor of philosophy?
Yes.
Oh.
You are?
Yes.
Well,
that's going to throw Jim off. Yeah.
I have a PhD, so that technically stands for Doctor of Philosophy.
Yes.
Well, that's going to throw you off, Jim, now.
Yeah.
Don't think about philosophy.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you don't see the PhD, does it cease to exist?
Just stay in the science realm.
Okay, so give me a hint. I gave up quick.
Well, you can have a look at what I'm wearing. I don't know if you can see my dress here.
Oh,
the
Star
pattern
Wars.
on the dress.
You're a doctor of Star Wars science.
She has her doctorate in Star Wars, yes.
Yeah, she might have a doctorate. Is science fiction?
No, but you're close.
Robots.
I'm also
No.
wearing a bit of a hint.
Space.
Yeah, you're there. Yeah.
But she's got R2D2s on her.
Yeah,
They're in
that he's in
space.
space as well. We're going to be talking today about galaxies, Jim.
Far, far away.
Yeah.
And radio astronomy.
I know about galaxies.
You don't know anything about galaxies.
My wife's favorite chocolate is Galaxy.
Well, then you should get this
Which
right away.
is the generic chocolate made by the Mars company. It competes against Cadbury in the rest of the world. It's quite good, but I prefer a Cadbury block myself.
Okay, let me introduce our guest. Dr. Jacinta Delhaize is a lecturer of astrophysics at the University of Cape Town in South Africa. Originally from Australia, she obtained her PhD from the International Centre for Radio Astronomy Research at the University of Western Australia.
I don't want to be rude, but how is South Africa doing with the space race?
Pretty good, actually.
Oh, they are.
We'll find out.
Have you guys got rockets and stuff? You ready to go?
Well, we have a national space agency. Yeah, it's better than Australia.
We
to be
have
honest.
Jeff Bezos. We don't even need one. We just have one bloke with a penis-shaped rocket who's giving it a go.
All right, hold on. She is also the co-creator, producer, and host of the Cosmic Savannah podcast, which talks about the amazing advances in astronomy coming from the African continent. So there you go. You can listen to that, Jim.
Right.
You can find more at thecosmicsavannah.com and on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Cosmic Savannah. Just to spell that, COSMICSS. Oh, crap. Let me try it again. You do it, Kelly.
COSMICSAVANNAH.
Like Savannah, like a biome, like Savannah. So, and we'll have that up there to show as well. Or at J Delhaize, JDELHAIZE. Thank you for being on the program, Dr. Jacinta Delhaize.
I don't
Thanks
know.
for having me.
I don't know a lot about this topic, but I do know that I don't need to because we have people like Jacinta.
Yeah,
that do know.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, before we start, why don't you tell us a little bit, Dr. Delhaize, about like how you got to where you're at and a little bit about your podcast and yeah.
Yeah, sure. So I'm from Perth in Western Australia, which we've just found out. Jim went to university in the area.
I know all about Perth.
Yeah. So I'm from a town called Mandurah, just south of Perth. And I've always been interested in astronomy and space stuff. So I found out that you could do it as a job, but you could be a professional astronomer. So I went to university and got my PhD. And now I'm an expert in radio astronomy, which we'll talk about a little bit today, and particularly about how galaxies have evolved or changed over the history of the universe.
All right.
So yeah.
Cool.
And I've worked in Australia, Croatia, and now South Africa, where I've been for the last 3 years. And there's a lot of exciting stuff going on here.
All right. Well, check out her podcast, please. The Cosmic Savannah or Cosmic. Yeah, I got it right. Jeez, terrible. All right. So I'm going to ask Jim questions about galaxies and radio astronomy. And when we're done, you're going to grade him 0 through 10, 10 being the best on how he did. Be very don't just be accurate. Don't be nice. Yeah, don't be nice. Everyone's too nice always. And then 0 through 10 for confidence for
I
Kelly.
would argue that some people have been mean to me and given me poor scores when I've done rather well.
And then, okay, 0 through 10, et cetera for me. We'll add all the scores together. If you tally 21 through 30, Jim, you're going to be Guy or Galaxy. Doesn't matter. You crushed it. 11 through 20, Relaxy. You didn't do that bad. Relaxy? Okay. 0 through 10, are you not feeling well? Maybe take some X-Lexy.
I like how you're reading it like you didn't write these. You're like,
I didn't write them, but I don't know.
If you're in your car at home, play along. See if you're any of these relaxy things.
Relaxy, Guy or
Relaxy
Galaxy?
or X-Laxy.
Okay. All right, Jim, what is a galaxy?
Galaxy. That's a good question.
Is it? Yeah.
I know we're in the Milky Way, and the galaxy is like it's like your suburb of the universe.
Yours?
Well, wherever you live,
Suburb of the
we
universe.
live in the Milky Way, and it's like the galaxy is like it's a whole lot of different planets and probably some black holes and stuff like that. Different things.
Different things.
Yeah, but it's like it's your area. It's like how I live in LA, which would be our solar system, right? But then the galaxy is including Pasadena. The galaxy is like your state, right? So I live in California, right, which is my galaxy, but my solar system is LA.
Okay.
Pasadena is Pluto. It doesn't really exist.
What is the difference between a solar system, a galaxy, and a universe?
Okay, so the solar system is your group of planets that rotate around your sun. Right, and so we have our.
Stop talking to us like you're an alien.
No,
Your sun, your Earth.
no, but we don't know where this goes. This is radio stuff we're doing. We'll talk about that later.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We don't know who's listening to this in other galaxies.
Okay.
Shalom. Anyway, so there's like a sun, and then we all have the planets. So that's our solar system, right? What was the next bit you want to know about?
Galaxy, universe.
Galaxy is
state of
is a collection of different suns and solar systems and stuff like that, which is within our galaxy in the Milky Way, right? And then universe is everything.
Okay.
The entire universe.
What is the name of our galaxy?
The Milky Way.
Okay. How many galaxies are there?
Oh, we don't know. It's infinite because the universe is forever expanding, and like they'll say they have a good idea. I'm sure Jacinta will go fucking 72 or something, right? But they don't know. They don't know. It's still going out. You can't see that far.
Okay. What are the 4 main shapes of galaxies?
Triangle, circle, rectangle, and octagon.
Yeah, you got that one. What is? How old is the universe?
As old as time, because without it, we didn't start doing time.
Yeah, good one.
So you think whenever, like, think for the first second, that's when the universe started.
All right, I'm gonna ask you.
Oh, okay, I'll actually give you an answer. It's
No, that's what you
got to be billions of years. Billions. I'm going to say 7 billion years.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you some more general questions, then we're gonna talk about radio astronomy. So, what is dark matter? I don't know if that's general. It's more specific.
Dark matter.
Yeah. I know the joke you want to make, right?
Yeah. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. You didn't ask what black matter is, so I'm not going to do
What
that.
about blue matter?
No, don't you bloody make me fall into that trap, Forrest.
What is a supermassive black hole?
Oh, my asshole after,
I knew he was gonna
after
say
hemorrhoid surgery. No, supermassive black hole is like you have your normal black holes.
Okay, next question.
And then it's a really, really big black hole.
What is spaghettification?
Oh, that's when the Italians moved out of the galaxy. and they ruined the neighborhood over there. So when the aliens are like, it was good, but the restaurants are good. I'm enjoying the food, but they're very loud, aren't they?
I thought you were going to say it's an Italian cover, Red Hot Chili Peppers cover band. What is galactic cannibalism?
Oh, that's when our galaxy eats up another galaxy through black holes.
What is radio astronomy?
Radio astronomy is like the movie with Jodie Foster, which is like Contact, where they're sending radio waves out into space with the hope that some alien also has a radio and they will talk back to us.
The movie Contact?
Yeah.
And what book? Do you know who? It was based on a book. Do you know who wrote that book? This is an extra question. It's not even there.
Oh, it was based on a book by Roald Dahl.
You got it. What does a radio telescope look like?
It'd be like a big dish, like the movie The Dish. You know about The Dish in parks? It would be
Definitely.
It would be like a great big satellite dish that you have like for TVs, or it would be one of those ones they have like where it's a dome and they have a telescope that sticks out of like Griffith Park. They have one of those. Yeah, they have one of those.
Where's the radio?
Oh, the radio, it's just a normal one that they attach to the side, like from Radio Shack with a few different parts. But it's like, but it picks up different signals. You got to wind the little knob and the little red line goes along back and forth until you find your frequency.
Name some radio telescopes. I don't even know why I'm asking that.
I'm going to name one of them Brian.
Yeah.
The Hubble.
Okay.
Hubble
What is
telescope.
the SKA and where will it be built?
The what?
SKA. SKA. Yeah.
SCAR, well, I'm going to say it's going to be built in South Africa, and it's a special telescope that Jacinta's working on.
Okay, 2 more questions. What does a light year measure?
Well, it's very fast. A light year is very fast. You go light. It's distance. It measures distance. It measures the time it takes for light to reach us. So when we look at a star or the sun or something like that, we're not looking at the light that's currently going on. It takes like, let's say the sun takes 10 minutes to reach us, right? 10 minutes to reach us. And then like, sometimes you can look at a star and that star doesn't exist anymore, but we're still seeing the light traveling towards us, and they can go, that's 100 light years away. And so that means the light's taking 100 years to reach us.
So what does it measure?
It measures how long light takes to travel.
How big is a giant radio galaxy?
Oh, a lot smaller since online shopping, but they used to be everywhere.
Yeah, they're out of business.
They used to be like fucking Best Buy and all
They're
that
out
type
of
of
business
stuff.
now,
Yeah, they're no good.
Yeah. Okay.
But they used to kick ass. It was them and Sears. They were all in the same mall.
Radio Shack, Radio Galaxy.
Dr. Jacinta Delhaize, thank you for sitting there and listening to that. How did Jim do? 0 through 10, 10 being the best.
He actually did really well. I gave him an 8.
Yeah! Light years ahead of what Forrest thought I would do.
He said my supermassive black hole was his asshole after hemorrhoid surgery.
Well, that's what he got a point off for.
Yeah. Also, don't think that she hasn't studied that. It's on the internet.
Okay. How do you do on confidence?
10.
10.
10.
Yeah.
He was
All
very
right.
confident today.
All right. I'll give you a 10 and et cetera. So you get a 28, and Guy or Galaxy doesn't matter. You crushed it.
You crushed it.
Yeah.
Did I get things right?
I don't know. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, maybe.
I think the light
Milky
year
Way.
thing you did pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like you did, but I don't know. I don't know a lot of this stuff. So
Spaghettification was
How are
nailed
Galaxy?
it. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go through.
Is there something interfering with your happiness?
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you look at me?
No, I didn't. Because you asked the
Am
question.
I supposed to
look
not
over here?
interfering with your happiness.
Uh-oh, Mom and Dad are fighting again.
If anything, I bring you joy. Is there something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving goals? I do that to you. BetterHelp will assist your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. It's not a crisis line. It's not a self-help. It's a professional counseling done securely online. I love counseling. I'm a big believer in therapy. If you're feeling down and you don't think it's going to work for you, give it a go. It can't hurt to give it a go. Talking to people, getting things off your chest, learning how to manage your stress. There is a broad range of expertise available which may not be locally available in many areas. The service is available for clients worldwide. You can log into your account anytime and send a message to your counselor. You'll get a timely and thoughtful response. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions so you won't have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room as with traditional therapy. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches so they make it easy and free to change counselors if needed. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. So, just Just log on there and see if it'll help you. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. Visit betterhelp.com/IDK. You got to put the /IDK on there. That's better, HELP, and join the over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. All 50 states, all of them. There are some states that you go, oh, you're a counselor from blah, blah, blah. Oh. But most of the states are good. This podcast, This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and the I Don't Know About That listeners are getting 10% off their first month. That's 10% off your mental health. Better.
Didn't you mean to be like, wait a second?
No. I think that's a very reasonable discount.
Okay.
Look, you can't put a price on your mental health. Even if they were saying we're going to charge double, I'd tell you to bloody do it. It's good for you. But you're going to get a discount. You'll get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/IDK. Green Chef is a US DAR certified organic.
USDA.
I know. I was doing a joke there. I know it's USD. Hey,
Don't let her shake you. Keep going. You're doing great.
Green Chef is an USDAR certified organic company that makes eating well and easy, affordable, with plans.
You're probably going to have to say USDA.
You said it for me.
Okay. USDA certified company.
USDAR. Only get me meat USDAR certified. Recipes are quick and easy with a step-by-step instructions, chef tips, and photos to guide you along. Do you remember those old cookbooks? They never had photos. They who was writing those things? Who was the first genius to go, put a picture of the meal next to it? It did. My mum's old cookbooks are just like,
Just words, yeah.
get flour.
Sometimes they'd have a sketch. That helps.
Yeah. It would always be a bowl with a whisk. And then they put some lines around the whisk to make you look like, oh, that thing's
Those are motion
really
lines,
moving.
yeah.
I got to whisk the shit out of these eggs.
With Green Chef, you get the photos. You get the
Ooh,
photos. You get the
nice.
photos. It's easy to eat well and discover new recipes every week that everyone will enjoy. You can switch up your meal plan whenever you're ready and try a new way to eat. Green Chef makes staying healthier and on track easier than ever with satisfying home-cooked dinners. Recipes include some pre-chopped ingredients. That's the good thing. That means you're not going to cut yourself. Not going to cut yourself, all right? Unless you're that type of way inclined. Pre-made sauces, dressings, and spices so you can get more flavor in less time. Go to greenchef.com/I-don't-know-90 and use the, what?
Sorry, I don't know 100. I didn't realize it was in there twice. So it's, I don't know 100.
Oh my goodness, 100. Is that a typo? It actually is.
It is a typo.
Go to greenchef.com/I-don't-know-100 and use the code I-don't-know-100 to get $100. $100 off. So before they were getting $90 off.
This is a big offer.
And I thought that was crazy before.
Yeah.
And now they're giving $100 off. They probably fuck you on the shipping though. What?
Nope.
Free shipping.
No totally way. Free
And
shipping.
$100. You can't afford not to do this. That's greenchef.com/I-don't-know-100 and use the code I-don't-know-100 to get $100 off, including free shipping. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well.
What is a galaxy? Jim said, that's a good question. He said, you got a point for that. I live in LA, which is our solar system, but the galaxy includes Pasadena. I live in California, which is, all right, what is a galaxy, Dr. Delhaize?
California.
Yeah,
man.
actually, Jim got it quite right. So I'll answer the first two at the same time. So it's like solar system, then galaxy, and then universe. So so solar system is a star with all the planets going around it, and then moons and everything else. And then a galaxy is a collection of millions or billions of stars and all of their solar systems, but also big collections of gas and dust and dark matter and supermassive black holes.
Yeah. California.
I did like your analogy.
Yeah.
I never really thought of it that way.
And then
And then the universe is everything, just all of the galaxies inside the universe.
okay. And the name of our galaxy is, in fact, the Milky Way. I knew you got that one, right?
Yeah, I did. I knew that one.
But where does that name come from? Milky Way.
It was originally a chocolate bar made by the people of
Well,
Mars.
actually, if you're here in the southern hemisphere, I don't think you can see it as well from the northern hemisphere. But in the southern hemisphere, if you go out away from the cities, away from all the light, and you look up at the night sky, you can see directly into the center of the Milky Way, and it looks like a kind of like a milky path across the sky. So I guess that's where the name came from.
And what is it? What makes it look like milk?
No, because it's white.
All the stars.
So
all the
stars,
stars kind of
cluster
glowing.
stars.
No, I know, but I've seen it. I've kind of seen pictures, but I was wondering. It kind of makes okay. All right, stars. I guess.
Imagine that
maybe
we're
there was
spinning
milk
in
up
a
there.
world that's
but-
often turning, revolving at 500 miles an hour.
I asked Jim how many
Yeah.
galaxies there are. He said we don't know. It's infinite, but he said you're gonna give him some bullshit answer, like 72.
Well, I will give you an answer. It's 2 trillion galaxies.
Yeah, but,
But it's close
is
to
that
infinite, I
exact?
guess.
That seems very unusual.
No.
That it would be exactly 2 trillion. Like there's not
On
2
the
trillion and
dot.
7 or something like that.
2 trillion?
No, you're right. You're right, Jim. Yeah, it's an approximation. But that's about as close as we can get, if that's okay with you.
That's okay. I'll forgive you.
2
Thanks.
trillion. That's a lot. I don't know if you guys know at home. That's a lot.
It's everything.
It's the whole universe.
That's why like bullshit. If there is a God, right? If there is a God, like he gives a fuck about your prayers, right? There's 2 trillion galaxies he's dealing with. He's dealing with 2 trillion galaxies. He's like, oh, what's Earth up to? Better check on that. No,
Wouldn't
way,
you think
no.
God has an individual planet though? I'm not a God person, but I'm just saying if I'm for
that,
argument's
you
sake.
think that there's a God for every different planet, then who's their God? Who's their boss? Like their middle management, and they just work in,
well,
one
you would
planet?
think if there
You're
was
like
a God
the
for
regional
Earth.
manager of space.
Yeah, if there's a God for Earth, he's always bragging because like I'm the God of Pluto, and they're like, there's nobody
because
there.
They
I'm just
always
like,
go, "What was before God?" And they go the Big Bang, and they go, well, "What was before the Big Bang?" There's always, well, "What was before God?" So they believe, religious folk, they believe that God created the universe. And so he's done 2 trillion planets, and he wants to check in on us and see what
I
we're
feel
up
like
to.
Earth would be like his trashy reality TV. Like just checks in to see what the fuck we're doing
Okay,
here, and then he
yeah,
moves
but
on.
it's also that thing about the 2 trillion people. Of course, there's there's probably, from the sounds of it, there's 2 trillion, that's galaxies, right?
Yeah, galaxies.
Okay, so inside the galaxies, let's say, there's like 1 billion planets in each galaxy as well.
Well, there's about 1 billion or more stars, and then lots of planets around those.
So there's like 10 billion planets in the 2 trillion. So it's just a big number, man.
Yeah.
And like that there's going to be a whole lot of other. There's got to be like trillions of other planets.
with people on them,
With people,
or
no.
life forms.
I reckon most of it's mosquitoes. We've gone over this, right?
That was our last episode. Yeah,
But I don't. There's no chance that we're the only.
yeah, we've had that. We had an
Talking-
aliens episode too.
There's
and,
no way.
and I'm sure that Dr. Delhaize, that's how you feel. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but like, there's got to be life forms, other planets, or
Yeah, I mean, the chances are that there are. The chances that we've seen them or found them, I think, are very, very slim to none, or exactly 0. But yeah, I reckon there's something out there. It may not be like humanoid, it may not be intelligent, but probably there's something out there.
Oh, I reckon it's going to. I reckon it's the only way the human race is going to stop all racism and everything. What we need is to be invaded, and then we all have to come together like a plucky
Get
ragtag
colonized
team.
by aliens.
Ragtag team of humans that are gonna, you know what I mean?
yeah, but you would think COVID would have done it. They didn't bring the world together. No, it's further apart.
Yeah, that's true. But
Aliens
if
might do it.
aliens do it, that's the only way.
Yeah.
We'll all have to work together to stop the aliens. And if the aliens come, it'll be the same as the white people coming to Australia in 1788.
Yeah.
They're not going to come and go, we're just here to say hello. They'll fucking try to take us over, those bloody pesky aliens.
We're getting raped. We're getting pillaged for sure.
What?
I didn't know we were getting raped. Bloody hell.
Hey, they're
Kelly
colonizers.
said it's okay.
Turned a bit dark.
Yeah, Kelly said it's okay.
You
What
guys
are-
should read a history book.
What are the 4 main shapes of galaxies? Jim said triangle, circle, rectangle, octagon. I don't know if that's right.
What is it?
No, I didn't give him a point for that one. It's a bit of an old-fashioned classification system, though.
Oh,
but
sorry.
in general, there's a few different kinds. There's like spirals, which is kind of like flat, like a dinner plate, and then it has these kind of majestic spiral arms, just like the Milky Way. We think that's a spiral galaxy. And then you have elliptical galaxies, which are just kind of like big elliptical shaped. Or what do you call football, like soccer in the US?
Soccer.
Soccer.
Soccer, with the one with the round ball, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like big soccer balls. Just
Wouldn't that
of
be
like
called
kind
a
of
sphere?
yeah, also a sphere.
But you want to call it elliptical.
That's
and
good.
the other shape is a stairmaster.
Yeah, either like a football or a soccer ball shape, and then you've got I think like lenticulars, which are kind of sort of like flat like a dinner plate, but they don't have the spiral arms. And then you've got irregulars, which are just like everything else. But actually, you've got this whole spectrum of things. And Jim said a circle, but you can get ring galaxies. So I guess that's kind of like a circle. It's where you've got a galaxy where another one has punched right through the middle. And so you end up with just a ring.
Donut hole. Wait, so that's an old classification? Because I just, when we're looking for these questions, we're dumb too. So we're just like looking shit up. That's like, that, you don't classify them like that anymore? Or is that?
Well, those are like the broad classifications, but then there's a whole bunch of other ones out there. We found a lot of weird stuff out there now.
Is there a chance, I think I talked about this in the other alien podcast. This isn't an alien podcast, but this is a universe one. We did an alien one. Is there a chance that we're just living in the stomach of a humongous animal and that's our universe? And we're like, because you know how like in your bowels, you got all your probiotics and little animals and stuff that are like doing things to digest food and all that sort of stuff. Is there a chance that we're just in the stomach of a bigger animal? Real question.
Sure.
Yeah.
Podcasting straight from the stomach of a giant animal.
Is there a chance? And she's going to say, yeah.
There is, right? There is a chance.
We're a byproduct of kimchi.
We've got all the stuff when you eat kimchi. You got all the little things in you making your colon good. We could be colon animals, man.
And we're just going to get shit out one day?
No. We're living what we think is a long amount of time. And in this big animal's life, it's not that long.
Okay.
Takes forever to shit.
How old?
Billions of years.
How old is the universe? Jim said as old as time. Please, because without it, we didn't have anything.
He then said he guessed 7 billion years, which is actually a pretty good guess. That's half the age. So it's about 14 billion years, 13.77 to be exact.
Not bad.
And how do they know that?
Good.
How do you know that? Or how does anyone know that?
So there's this kind of light out there in the microwave. So it's called the cosmic microwave background. So it's like this kind of really faint glowing that you can only see with a microwave telescope up in space. And it's basically like a baby picture of the universe. So we can see a lot of details about when the universe was kind of just after it was formed. And from that, we can age it. So we know roughly how old it is.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. And then people don't want to get vaccinated. All right. Sorry. That's science. But have you ever been to the observatory, Jim, up there?
No.
LA? It's pretty
I've
cool.
been to the picnic bit, but I haven't been into it.
If you go there, they have this whole thing, and it's you can see how much you'd weigh on each planet, and then there's like, it's fun for kids. You should go there. All right. I don't know why I'm talking about it now. What is dark matter? Didn't even answer that one. It was problematic to answer that one. So.
Well, I didn't give you a mark down for that, Jim, because no one actually knows what dark matter is.
Thank you.
We know it's there. We know it's something like, I think it's 85% of the matter in the universe is actually dark. So we know it exists because we can see the effect of its gravity, but we can't actually see it because it doesn't interact with light. It doesn't interact with any kind of electromagnetic radiation. So yeah, there's something out there and we don't know what it is.
Is there any light
and
matter?
It's in the milk. Sorry?
Is there any, if there's dark matter, is there any light matter?
Yeah, that's all normal matter. That's how you can see me right now.
No, it's all normal.
All matter is good, guys.
Wait, so it's only in the Milky Way? Is that what you were saying at the last?
No, it's everywhere.
It's
but
everywhere.
it is also in the Milky Way.
So we know it exists, but we don't know what it is, but it's there.
Exactly.
Here's one for you. When I was a kid, okay, so 35 years ago, did they believe that the Milky Way was the entire universe, or was I wrong about that? I remember thinking that was everything, was the Milky Way. And like, when did they discover there was other galaxies?
You're testing me here, but I think it was a bit before that. But yeah, at one stage, definitely, we thought that the Milky Way was the entire universe. And you might have heard of these things called Messier objects, or maybe some of your listeners have heard of those.
I haven't.
Okay, so it's a lot of the time when you're doing stargazing, you go outside and you look through a telescope, you might look at something called a Messier object. And this was classified by this dude called Messier. And he saw like kind of weird things out there, fuzzy patches, and he thought they might be like nebula or something like that. Turns out there were other galaxies outside of our own galaxy, but he didn't know that our galaxy wasn't the entire universe. So yeah, it was not too long ago, but before your time.
So we can see other galaxies just with the naked eye?
Yeah, definitely. We can see them. Yeah. There's like our neighboring galaxies, the Large Magellanic Cloud and the Small Magellanic Cloud. They're the two of the closest to the Milky Way. We can go outside and see them like almost the size of your hand on the night sky down here in the Southern Hemisphere.
I only found out that you could see other planets recently. It fucking
on your bachelor party.
I'm a bachelor party.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Everyone's like, oh, there's
We were on
Mars.
mushrooms. We were on
I was like,
we were
get
on
the
mushrooms.
fuck out of here.
You can always see other planets when you're on mushrooms.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it was Mars and I forget what else. But yeah, we were on mushrooms, so you didn't believe us either. You're like,
People were saying it so stupid, like they were doing like Zodiac. They go, oh, Mars is really moving. I was like, get the fuck. What are you talking about? Mars is moving. I'm looking at Mars. Like, get out of it.
And especially there, because that's out like by Joshua Tree where you can see the stars better. So that's part of it. But
Don't you think the moon looks better in the southern hemisphere than it does in the northern hemisphere? It has more of a face.
Yeah, because it's upside down, right?
Yeah, it looks like it's got eyes and a mouth. It looks like a man on the moon. I told that to my wife. I said, oh, it looks better in the southern hemisphere. And we were just in Australia. And she goes, it does look more like a face down here. I'm just saying it's better.
okay. Visit Australia or South Africa, whatever. What is a supermassive black hole? Jim said, my asshole after hemorrhoid surgery.
Or just any sex.
Well, a black hole is, a kind of like a stellar-sized black hole is like the corpse of a dead star, a dead massive star. So they explode at the end of their lives in these huge supernova explosions, which are really dramatic. And that's where like all of the gold and the silver, or most of it, the gold and silver on Earth was formed in these like supermassive, in these supernova explosions. And then what's left from the biggest stars, the biggest supernova, is a black hole, which is basically all of the matter from the core of the star is condensed into one infinitely small point. And then this incredibly high density warps space-time around it. And so not even light can escape from around the event horizon of a black hole. And you might have seen recently, in I think it was 2019, there was the first ever image of a black hole was taken with the Event Horizon Telescope. You might have seen it online and all the memes. It's kind of like a black circle with the red ring around the outside. So that's the first picture of a supermassive black hole. We don't actually know how the supermassive black holes form because they're millions or billions of times the mass of our sun. So we don't think they were formed from individual stars dying. They could have been formed from several different black holes merging together, colliding and forming one big one. Or they could have been formed in some other way that we don't know about yet.
Now,
But actually...
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, I just wanted to add that almost all galaxies have a supermassive black hole in the center, including our own, the Milky Way. It's called Sagittarius A star.
Now, do these science fiction would have me believe that if you go into it, that black holes are sucking things in and they can work as wormholes so you can pop in there and pop out a different section. Is that just bullshit or is there some truth to anything I just said?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. It is bullshit.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, first of all, supermassive black holes, they're not like cosmic vacuum cleaners who they're just infinitely sucking stuff. They're actually, if our own sun turned into a black hole tomorrow, the Earth wouldn't move because the gravity would be the same. It's just if something gets pushed in towards the black hole so that it spirals inside the event horizon, that's where it'll get sucked in.
So it's like those water parks.
I've been listening this whole time and I can't get the idea of a supermassive black hole not being Jim's asshole. So I've been listening as if it was.
Wait,
I don't like it.
Before you ask a question, remember that. Wait, you said the gold and silver is created by black hole? Is that?
They're created in supernova explosions, part of them, and they're also created by the collision of two different black holes or two different neutron stars.
Oh wait, gold on this planet or it just produces?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
No wonder. Now it
That's
makes
right.
It's got value.
Yeah, I used to think it was because it's rare, but that makes more. Okay.
They also invented IKEA.
Oh, well. Okay. Sorry, Jim.
What's a champagne supernova and does it slowly walk down the hall faster than a cannonball?
According to Oasis, yes.
But is there a champagne supernova?
Not that I know of.
Oh, I thought that was like a supernova that just was like the Milky Way. That it was like I thought that was a real
No, it's
term.
on South Beach. Yeah, it's this club. I know a guy there. I'll get you in.
Oh man, what's a wonder wall?
What is spaghettification? Jim said when the Italians moved out of the galaxy and ruined the What did they move out and ruin the neighborhood?
They moved into the neighborhood and we spaghettified the whole place. Hey, get rid of your cupcake stores. We're moving in pasta stores here. Meatballs, they're not meatballs. Is that what it is?
Do you want to, Dr. Delhaize, do you want to redo your score of 8, by the way, as I'm going through these answers?
Yeah, I was just really enjoying that answer. No, well, actually related to the previous comment about kind of falling into a black hole, spaghettification is the theory, the idea of what happens if, like, for example, you were getting close to a black hole and you were falling in feet first. The difference in the gravity between your feet and your head would be so vast that you would actually get stretched out like a long thin strand of spaghetti. So that's why it's called spaghettification.
And because you didn't see nothing, you're not gonna say nothing.
All right, let's talk about radio astronomy, because this is a specialty of yours, right? So, what is radio astronomy? Jim said the movie with Jodie Foster. They sent radio waves out. Contact. Yeah. There you go.
And then the aliens come back, long time listener, first time caller.
So the movie Contact is definitely about a radio astronomer. It's based on a real life radio astronomer. And well, the difference is that the radio telescopes, they don't send out signals. We're just collecting signals. You can send them out with telescopes like Arecibo in Puerto Rico. You've done it in the past, but mostly we're just collecting signals from space. And actually many different things, including galaxies, release radio light. So light that we see with our eyes, that's only one type of what we call the electromagnetic spectrum. As you've got all of these different types of light, you might have heard of infrared, X-rays, gamma rays, ultraviolet, and then radio waves. Radio light is actually a type of light, not a type of sound. So this is a common misconception because, we've got radio stations, but they actually transmit their signals as radio waves, which are a type of light. And then they go to your receiver, which converts it into into sound waves that you can hear. But radio light can actually come from things in space, such as from galaxies and from supermassive black holes. And so we use these telescopes to collect those signals and to study different aspects of the galaxies.
All right. And Carl Sagan wrote that book, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
That's all. That's the only one I knew the answer to.
Right? Why?
That's why I asked the question.
Is Carl Sagan somebody that I should know?
He is a famous astrophysicist. He's not alive anymore, sadly, but he was
Carl
very
Sagan.
Yeah, is that how you pronounce his name?
In Australia we say Sagan, not Sagan like a pagan.
I think his name's Sagan, though.
Yeah,
I don't know who it is.
You never heard of him? Yeah. I thought he was pretty famous.
Have you heard of the pale blue dot? Maybe.
I saw them in Vegas. Not impressed.
Okay.
I know the pale blue. That's why I thought everybody knew. But I went to school at Ithaca College, which is in the same town as Cornell University, where he taught and had this really cool house.
What's the pale blue dot? I got to know what that is now.
I think it's the image of when one of the spacecraft was going out away from the Earth throughout the solar system. Maybe it was one of the voyages, and it looked back and it took a picture of the Earth, and that's when we saw ourselves for the first time from not on the Earth as just like a pale blue dot in the distance, and that kind of is one of the most seen images in history, actually. In terms of astronomy, that one and the recent black hole picture.
Yeah, but he coined that phrase.
If you believe the world's round,
is Carl Sagan coined that phrase? Is that what that, or is that?
I think so, but yeah. I'm not sure.
Because I heard like I was at a rave one time or somewhere, I don't know, and there was like the DJ was playing Carl Sagan saying that pale blue dot. I was on drugs. But
yeah, we got that.
Done left his house.
Maybe it was that house. I don't know. So what are radio telescopes? What do they look like? Sorry.
Yeah, so they look like a big dish. I think Jim mentioned the Parkes radio telescope. Looks like a big satellite dish. You want to make them as big as possible so that they have a more like collecting area so that you can see objects that are fainter. But eventually they get too big to build one single one. And so then you have to split them up into several smaller dishes and combine the signal together with fiber optic cables. And this is called a radio interferometer. So now our big radio telescopes aren't just one giant dish. They're mostly split into hundreds or tens or hundreds of smaller dishes.
Who pays for these dishes? Is this a private thing? Is it donations? Or does the government pay for these?
Yeah, it's usually funded on a national scale or even on an international. So when we get to talking about the SKA, we'll find out that this is a project of more than 10 or 15 countries.
Oh, so it's international. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I reckon you'd get in a few arguments like that. It's like trying to split a bill at a restaurant. And you're like, fucking India didn't chip in.
They're using the telescope.
They all fucking had a bit of the fucking Indian should chip in.
And I didn't.
I know they don't drink and we all had cocktails, but why didn't they chip in on the dish?
A radio interferometer. That's the same thing? Because I didn't ask that question.
Yeah. Sorry, I answered the two questions in one. But yeah, the radio interferometer is where you split the dish into smaller ones.
I asked Jim to name some radio telescopes. He said Brian and the Hubble.
Well, Hubble is kind of like an optical ultraviolet telescope. That's a satellite up in space, but the ones down here on Earth, you might have heard of the Parkes telescope. Jim, I think you mentioned that your family owns some land around there.
I don't know if my cousins owned all the sheep farms around where the telescope is in Parkes. I'd visited the Parkes telescope many, many times as a child because there's not a lot to do in Parkes. Apart from watching your cousin slit the throat of a sheep in front of you to scare you when you're about 5, there's not much happening.
God.
Fun.
They did. It's like
I spent a lot of my.
They're like, "Do you want lamb for dinner?" And I'm like, "Sure. All right, come with me." And they just pull a sheep out of the whole thing. Nope. Pulls a knife out of his thing and cuts its throat. It's pumping out blood, and you're a kid. It fucking traumatizes you. Still eat lamb to this day. But that's a bit off target. But that was horrific. And
you worked there?
Yeah, I did quite a lot of my PhD there, working there at night, and it wasn't quite as romantic as it sounds. There was a lot of locust swarms, a lot of the smell of like the pigs or the sheep getting slaughtered, I guess.
So, would have been Uncle Jack.
It was cool. Yeah, and there's some other telescopes in that. There's one in the US, a big one called the VLA, the Very Large Array. So most of these telescopes are named very literally. It's a very large array of telescopes.
Oh, is that the one at the end of the movie Contact? There's like all these.
Yeah, exactly. That's where like Jodie Foster's kind of like listening to it, which you can't listen to a radio telescope. But yeah, that's that telescope.
Fucking Hollywood.
Why is she listening to it?
This is just an iPod.
Stop. The Dodgers are in the ninth.
What is the SKA and where will it be built? Jim said South Africa. And I think because you're there, you guessed that.
It's a good guess. It's 50%, right? So the SKA is the Square Kilometre Array Telescope.
Half of it in Zimbabwe?
Kind of.
Yeah.
So remember I said that you could split your telescope into these smaller dishes. And then the benefit of doing that is that you can spread the dishes further and further apart. And when you combine the signals of them, the further apart these dishes, the smaller the objects that you can see. And the more of the dishes, the fainter the objects you can see. So the SKA is a mega global science project, one of the biggest ever in the world, and certainly the biggest radio telescope project in history. And it's going to be built over 2 continents. So half of it's going to be built in Southern Africa and the other half is going to be built in Australia. The core will be in Western Australia, where I'm from. And the idea behind this is to build an enormous telescope, which is so powerful that you can see so far into space that you're looking so far back in time that you can maybe even see the very first stars forming after the Big Bang.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this is going to be an enormous project and it's just started construction after 30 years in the planning. And in the meantime, we've built some like precursor telescopes, some like kind of test beds. A couple in Western Australia called ASCAP and the MWA, the Murchison Wide Field Array, and one here in South Africa called Meerkat, which is a great name. And even though these are only like 1% or something like that, the size of ultimately the SKA, they're already by far the world's most powerful radio telescopes. And we're already making some exciting discoveries with them.
When will the SKA be finished, and why isn't it called Mega Telescope?
It probably should be called Mega Telescope because originally the idea was to have like a square kilometer of area of collecting area of metal in these dishes. But, you know, the plans had to change and the designs change. And now there isn't a square kilometer, but we're kind of stuck with the name. But it just kind of means a really big, giant telescope.
Why did Australia and Southern Africa get this thing? Is it like an Olympic bid where the countries wanted it, or are they just the right location?
Yeah, it's kind of like an Olympic bid. So different countries all around the world were bidding for to host the SKA, and then there was a long selection process over many years. But what was most important was to figure out which countries had the least RFI. This is radio frequency interference. So, you know, things like mobile phones, TVs, people themselves, anything near a city has so much of this interference that if we're trying to see a very, very faint signal from distant galaxies, obviously like a mobile phone or anything is going to just blast this telescope. So it had to be in a place that has a very large unpopulated area, very flat, geologically stable. And of course, the Murchison area in Western Australia is perfect for this. And also the Karoo area in South Africa. So that's why these sites were chosen eventually.
Is there pushback from the public? Because we all know that like during COVID and all that type of stuff, people have been burning down 5G towers and stuff like that. And that's just a little tiny frequency pole in your neighborhood. Are there people who think that this is a dangerous, cancerous thing and protest against it, nut jobs like that? Do they exist?
I think all sorts of people exist. At the Parkes telescope once, one of the nights that I was asleep, I wasn't observing, but my friend was observing. Someone came to the front door, knocked on it, and said, "Can you please stop spying on me in my house?" So, you know, you do have people with interesting ideas about what we're doing with these very expensive telescopes. But we
built
are
this
more
whole thing to
concerned
spy on him.
To watch you watch Jeopardy.
Yeah. You know what I would have said? I said, "We're not spying on you. Stop eating so many pies." And be like, "Oh, I did eat a pie last week. Fuck."
People really do think they're very important.
Yeah. But I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that people think that we're collecting radiation, we are collecting radiation, but that we're attracting radiation, because this word radiation kind of has these negative connotations, right, you know, like Chernobyl and things, but it's just light. So even optical light that we see with our eyes, that's also radiation. So these telescopes, they don't attract any extra light or radiation. It's coming there anyway. They're just like a collecting bowl that's collecting it. So I think at the moment there's not enough kind of like knowledge about them for it to cause any sort of controversy. But also, like, people really love astronomy. People love space. Everyone wants to know what's going on out there. And so there's a lot of public support for it, particularly in South Africa and Australia, which is really exciting because it's going to be so cool.
I've just found out about it, and I'm like, this is one of the best things the human race has ever done. It sounds like we're going to see things from the Big Bang and all types of stuff.
And when we'll be done, I know Jim asked that, but I don't think you got a chance to answer that because he asked another question.
Yeah, so I mean, the timeline's been pushed a bit, obviously, because of COVID. So it's looking like around 2025-ish that we should have some serious science operations going. So it's not too far away.
And so when it gets done, are we going to find out things instantly, or does it take a while for us to look at these things? Does it take years for us to look at them? Does that make sense because they're so far away? Am I a moron?
Yeah, so no, it's a really good question, actually.
Question.
And it is quite complicated. So essentially, yeah, you'll look at something and you just have to do a bit of data processing, and then you just end up with a map, like a map of the sky. And sometimes you just look at it and you're like, oh, look, there's this huge new giant radio galaxy. So my recent publication, actually, we just looked at the data and we found two that shouldn't have been there. And so, yeah, you can just like kind of write that up and you found something new. But then there's other types that take a long time to study and to analyze, but you don't need to wait for the light to get to you. It's already will be in the image.
Is there a chance that this technology could get superseded really quick? Like you've got like a DVD player, right? You got like a video player, and now you go, I've put all my money into Betamax, and then VHS comes along. Fuck. Is that going to happen? Also, is there a chance that aliens are going to come down and they're going to look at it and laugh at us? Like we're holding a mobile phone and we're seeing someone with a tin can with a bit of string.
Yeah, actually, it's a very, very good question. So the SKA was designed. The SKA was designed to not be functioning with the technology and the computers that we had at the time that it was being designed, but to be functioning with supercomputers that we'd have in the future. So I think even now we don't currently have the supercomputer facilities that would be big enough and powerful enough to process the data from the SKA. And so part of the role of these precursor telescopes, so like Meerkat and ASCAP, is for us to also develop the supercomputing facilities along with it so that we can then eventually process data from the SKA, because this is going to generate, I think it's like a year's worth of internet traffic in one day or something, or even in an hour. It's something ridiculous. It's like an exabyte of data a day or something like that. And so we really need to develop the supercomputing facilities to match that. And of course, this is going to be a great spin-off for everything else that needs supercomputers, like modeling climate change and lots of things like that. And in terms of the aliens, if they could get here to laugh at us, then yes, they're definitely laughing at us.
Yeah.
I feel like Australia with their bad Wi-Fi, though. This is going to be like a problem.
You have to check it out. They got like 4 dishes and they're all connected. Fucking
there will
cave paintings.
actually be hundreds of dishes. So they'll be laughing at our hundreds of dishes and our hundreds of thousands of antennas. So,
what does a light year measure? Jim said it's very fast. Measures it. I think you did better at the end of it when he was saying you see the light and the stuff. I don't know.
Well, then wait to the next question.
How long light takes to travel and everything.
Yeah. So a light year is it's a distance. So it's how far light travels in a year. And I wrote down the number here, but I can't remember it. So hang on, let me look it up. Okay, so it's 9.46 trillion kilometers, or 5.88 trillion miles.
So in a year on Earth is what we're talking about. In that time, that's how far light travels.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That would be better for traveling for gigs too.
Yeah. How close are we to getting one of those things of Star Trek where you can just move from place to place? Because
he asks this question a lot.
Because I'm talking about giving up stand-up one day. It's more the travel than the stand-up. I don't want to travel all the time. So
you want the transporter beam.
If they get the transporter, I'll do comedy gigs for the rest of my life. With just a whoop, and one in your room where you walk in. I know it's not your expertise, but you probably know someone. How long's that away?
Yeah, I'll hook you up, Jim. Don't worry.
Is there anyone working on that? There must be someone working on it, right?
It's the guy that came and said, "Stop spying on me."
Yeah, there must be stuff. Does tinfoil hat stop anything?
No.
How big is a giant radio galaxy? Jim said a lot smaller since online shopping.
Yeah, giant radio galaxy. It's like what was that? What was the Best Buy? Something
Radio Shack.
No, something Circuit.
Circuit City.
Circuit City. When I first came to America, that was everywhere. Circuit City. Bought myself one of those portable PlayStations from Circuit City. No more.
Circuit City.
You can't get a Circuit City anymore.
You remember Ron Artest, the basketball player?
I do remember Metta World Peace. Yeah,
Metta World Peace, and he was when he entered the NBA, he got drafted by the Bulls. He took a job at Circuit City in the summer, and then somebody found out, and they were like, "You can't work here. Why are you working?" He goes, "No, I just wanted to do something in the summer." He was already a millionaire. He was just working at Circuit City, and people were like, "That's amazing. Isn't that the guy the Bulls just drafted?" They're like, "Yeah,
he want to have a job."
Yeah, he had a job. All right, sorry. A giant radio galaxy. How big is it? What is it? I don't even know what it is.
It's 700 kiloparsecs, greater than 700 kiloparsecs in size, which is about 22 times the size of the Milky Way.
What's a kiloparsec? We don't know what a kiloparsec is. I'm speaking for the rest of the group, but I know they don't know.
You don't? What's wrong with you, Luke?
It's 1,000 parsecs.
Did you say kiloparsecs? Like that parsec is killer.
I thought it was kilo.
Okay, so the Milky Way, the diameter of the Milky Way is about 105,000 light years across. And so then 22 times those, that's how big a giant radio galaxy is. That's how big 700 kiloparsecs is. So these are really huge. And a giant radio galaxy is formed when you have a supermassive black hole at the center of a galaxy. And then for some reason, you've got gas and dust falling into it. And this is, did we talk about the galactic cannibalism?
No, I was going to go back to that.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
How much is a light year in miles? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's 5.88 trillion miles.
Okay, well, that's easier to do. I can drive that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Get going. Yeah. Sorry, we didn't talk about galactic cannibalism. I asked Jim that question. I forgot to say it again. He said it's when our galaxy.
Let me fill that for you, Forrest. It's when two galaxies, one eats the other one up because gravity pulls them.
Yeah. You nailed it, Jim.
Yeah, exactly. It's when one galaxy, when two galaxies kind of collide together because they're drawn together due to gravity, and then they smash together. And if one is bigger than the other, then the smaller one is kind of going to get absorbed into the bigger one. And our own galaxy, the Milky Way, is actually doing that right now to our two neighboring galaxies, the Large Magellanic Cloud and the Small Magellanic Cloud. So these two are kind of trapped in a gravitational dance with the Milky Way. They're spiraling around. They're going to fall in. And eventually, when they do, then the Milky Way will burp. It'll kind of like expand out like this and then go back in. So yeah.
What'll happen to us when that happens? Will we know that? Will we feel that?
I suspect we'll be long gone by then because first we have to worry about our own star, the sun, turning into a red giant and gobbling us up. And yeah, we've got other problems.
This is a personal question. Do you find it hard to date because everyone else is a moron?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I date people and go, that person's a moron. And I'm not you. I'm not you, you know. I mean, you must go on dates and you'd be like, yeah, the universe is big, right? And you're just like, fuck this guy.
No, people have lots of different expertise in a lot of different things.
Yeah.
That's a nice answer.
Yeah.
Wait, so when is just on our sun? When's the sun going to gobble us up? When's that happening?
Oh, don't worry. We've got millions of years. We're fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
but eventually someone will be like, yeah,
but
you
with
want
my new diet.
Okay. Okay, I think we did all the questions, right?
Yep.
This is the part of the show when we've learned everything you need to know about galaxies, everybody, by the way. There's no other questions about radio astronomy. I don't know if there's anything else you want to say, but we do have this part, the dinner party facts, where we ask our guests to provide something cool or interesting to give our listeners at home or in their cars so they can impress people about this subject.
Okay, well, I think we've talked a lot about galaxies, and you were asking about the Milky Way at the start and like why it's called the Milky Way. And we said that there was like kind of fuzzy light coming from all the stars, and it looks like like a milky streak in the sky. But an interesting fact is that the indigenous people of Australia, the Aboriginal people, they didn't actually look at the patterns of the stars of the light. They looked at the patterns of the dust, so the dark bits that are kind of like highlighted against the stars. And if you look really carefully on a dark night in the southern hemisphere, right into the center of the Milky Way, you'll see this like kind of dark patch going through, and that's dust clouds that are blocking the background light. And if you trace around it, it actually looks like an emu lying down. And so they used to call it the emu in the sky. Yeah.
That's gonna go with the emu in the sky. That's where I go when I die.
Oh, I didn't know those were the words.
That's the songs.
Oh,
That's
cool.
the song word.
Well, thank you for being here, Dr. Jacinta Delhaize. That was amazing.
Yeah.
While we were listening to you, I took my phone and I subscribed to the Cosmic Savannah podcast. So everybody at home should do that as well if you want to learn more about stuff like this.
And go give her 5 stars and write a review because that really, really helps podcasts.
Yeah, and you can follow them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Cosmic Savannah, or if you just want to follow Dr. Jacinta Delhaize at JDelhaize, and we'll have that all on our linked up.
Well, thank you for being on the podcast, Jacinta. I'd like to say it was things that I didn't already know, but I did. So thank you for confirming what I already thought. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It was so fun.
Thanks, but ladies and gentlemen, if you're ever at a party and someone says the universe is 2 trillion fucking galaxies or something like that, you go, oh, it's probably close. And then you go, I don't know about that, and walk away. Good night, Australia.